This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome to Pulse of Africa News. I am Samia Mohammed with the latest. First, our top stories for today. Vote counting underway in Malawi. Morocco strengthens global tourism standing. UK rolls out red carpet for Trump. Now, the news in detail. Vote counting underway in Malawi. Vote counting has begun following the closure of polling station in Malawi's crucial presidential election. Current President Lazarus Chakwera is seeking a second term, running against former President Peter Mutharika, with both candidates focusing on revitalizing the economy. If no candidate secures more than half of the votes, a runoff may be held. Approximately 3.7 million votes were cast today, despite some delays at polling stations due to issues with fingerprint readers. The Malawi Electoral Commission has until September 24 to announce presidential results, with parliamentary outcomes expected by September 30. Cameroon faces a pivotal moment ahead of election. In Cameroon, the presidential election is due to take place on 12 October. More than 8 million voters will go to the polls to elect their president for the next 7 years. Incumbent Paul Biya, who has been in power since 1982, is seeking an eighth term in office at the age of 92. The president of Cameroon is elected by first-past-the-post voting. The candidate with the most votes is declared the winner, with no requirement to achieve majority. Registration for voting ended on 31st August 2024. The previous presidential election on 7th October 2018 saw incumbent President Paul Biya, who has ruled since 1982, elected for another 7-year term following a 2008 constitutional amendment that removed term limits, allowing Biya to run again. Morocco strengthens global tourism standing. Minister of Tourism Fatima Zahra Amor recalled Morocco's tourism momentum, saying the country is increasingly becoming a destination that travelers plan for advance. Amor says 33% of tourists now book their stay between 2 weeks and a month before departure, compared to 21% in 2019. For the minister, who made her remarks in a meeting with members of the National Tourism Confederation, this confirms Morocco's position as a carefully planned destination. The average length of stay now stands at around 7 days, she said, adding that the number is consistent with Morocco's proximity to markets. Ebola's vaccinations underway in DR Congo. The World Health Organization has begun vaccinating health workers and exposed individuals in DR Congo's Kasai province, following an Ebola outbreak that has killed at least 16. With limited doses and funding delays, officials warn the response remains slow as the country battles its 16th outbreak of the deadly virus. Vaccination for those exposed to the Ebola virus and frontline health workers has begun in southern Kasai province, the World Health Organization said Sunday. An outbreak of the highly contagious disease was announced earlier this month in the locality of Balupe in Kasai and has left at least 16 dead and 68 suspected cases, according to last week's briefing by the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In other news, UK rolls out red carpet for Trump. U.S. President Donald Trump formally begins his unprecedented second state visit to Britain on Wednesday with the royal pomp, a grand veneer to key diplomatic talks, and as difficult questions about Jeffrey Epstein linger. King Charles and the royal family will roll out the red carpet for the president when he arrives at Windsor Castle, the oldest and largest inhabited castle in the world and family home to British monarchs for almost 1,000 years, with a carriage procession, gun salutes, a military flypast, and lavish banquet. Britain says it will be the largest military ceremonial welcome for a state visit in a living memory. Trump, an overt royal fan, has made little secret of his delight at being not just the first U.S. leader, but the first elected politician to be invited by a British monarch for 2 visits. China proposed global initiatives aligned with UN Charter. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that the global initiatives proposed by China are totally compatible with the UN Charter. I think that it's very important to underline that in these global initiatives, there is a full respect to multilateralism, there is a full support of UN as the central piece of multilateral institutions, and a strong commitment in relation to the international cooperation and the peaceful resolution of conflicts, Guterres said. In his opening remarks at the press conference, Guterres said nearly 150 heads of state and government will come to New York for the high-level week, which offers every possibility for dialogue and mediation.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. All the time, Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now to business news. Liberia targets global cocoa market. The acting Director General of the Liberia Agricultural Commodity Regulatory Authority, Dan Sari, alongside Deputy for Operation and Technical Services, Alpha Gongole, has departed Liberia for an exploratory mission to the Republic of Ivory Coast, the world's largest cocoa producer. The high-level visit, which runs until Saturday, September 20, aims to deepen Liberia Agricultural Commodity Regulatory Authority's understanding of the Ivorian cocoa sector, an industry valued at over $3.3 billion in exports in 2023 alone, and explore opportunities for building sustainable partnerships that could benefit Liberia's cocoa farmers. During their mission, Acting Director General Sarrie and Deputy Gongole are expected to engage with several key institutions, including the Ivorian Coffee and Cocoa Regulatory Authority, the Wild Chimpanzee Foundation, and the Rainforest Alliance. They will also tour cocoa farms, fermentation centers, packaging factories, cooperatives, and jute bag production facilities to gain first-hand insights into sustainable practices and advanced post-harvest processes. Finally, new AI deal expected to boost UK economy. Microsoft says its new $30 billion investment in the UK's AI sector, its largest outside of the US, should significantly boost Britain's economy in the next few years. The package forms a major part of a £31 billion agreement dubbed the Tech Prosperity Deal, signed between the UK government and several US tech giants as part of Donald Trump's second state visit to the UK. The deal will see Google, Nvidia, and others invest in British-based infrastructure to support AI tech, largely in the form of data centers. Microsoft will also now be involved in the creation of a powerful new supercomputer in Essex. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. Now to weather updates. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.